Monday so far. Welcome to Manny Diaz's weekly press conference. The Canes host 18th ranked NC State this Saturday night at Hard Rock Stadium. Actually, the Wolfpack's first visit to South Florida since 2012. The game's on ESPN2. As always, we'll start off with an opening statement from Coach, and then we will go into questions. Coach, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Carter, and thank you, everybody, for being here today. We are excited about the challenge of playing NC State. They've obviously been on quite a roll this year. Their victory versus Clemson speaks for itself. Very well-balanced team, offensively and defensively and special teams. It'll be an important weekend for us to fix some things that are ailing us. Like I said, I can't fault our effort, our heart, our mental toughness, but there are some obvious things that we've got to get corrected to give ourselves a chance to win these games. We're obviously been in two really, really close games that have left us 0-2 in the ACC, but this is life in our league. These games are normally close. They normally come down to fine margins, and it's on us as coaches to better prepare ourselves to win those finer margins to get us a victory on Saturday. And with that, I'll open up for questions.
Coach, we'll start with Matt Chodell. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Manny. So I just rushed through the depth chart you guys sent out like 5 minutes ago. And I know this morning you mentioned you're going to sort of, give some younger guys some chances. So I just want to make sure I sort of gauge what you meant by that. It looked like most of them were on defense. So like Elijah Roberts, Isaiah Dunson, James Williams now officially with the first team, Marcus Clark, a co-starter at cornerback, and then obviously the special team stuff. So like, is there anybody on, that hasn't been mentioned that's going to have an elevated role that you see right now? Leonard Taylor remained, I guess, sort of a fourth teamer. I don't know, a coach, third team, whatever you call that. And is there anyone else? And I also wanted to ask you, D. Wiggins, has been removed from the depth chart, so I wanted to check on his status as well. If you could talk about all that, I would really appreciate it.
Yeah, the depth chart, as you know, is just something that we send out. It doesn't necessarily mean that the way that the snaps are allocated. Young guys are going to be able to play more. They deserve their opportunity. Like I mentioned this morning, it's about those guys knowing what to do. There's two things. Right, the older guys, they've got to play well. They got to play fundamentally sound, and they have to let their knowledge of what to do in a game show. When they don't do that, the question is, are the younger guys, are they ready to take their place? And that takes two things. One, they've got to be able to fundamentally execute when they're in the game, but two, they also they don't have the experience, and they've got to be able to know what to do. So those guys, our young guys in general, are getting better. They are getting more and more knowledge. So whether it is LT or Elijah up front, and both those guys are showing the ability to make plays, and LT is getting better and better. You mentioned some of the names in the back end of Clark or Dunson. Obviously, James and Cam are getting more and more snaps at safety. We just got to get, it could be a guy like Chase Smith. We just got to get the simple things right. So, I think that's just kind of where it's going. We won't know for sure until the end of the week of what, how we'll be allocating the snaps. But there's some guys that we found out on Saturday, their roles just simply have to be reduced a little bit.
And on D. Wiggins, any update with him?
Yeah, so we took D and Mark off the depth chart. They're both not officially in the portal yet, but that's probably what we would expect to have happen.
Okay, next we'll go to David Lake. David, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, wanted to ask you about a trend, I guess, dating back to 2019, your first year as the head coach. First quarter in all your losses, you guys have been down or tied in all those losses, and just the slow start thing. I'm wondering, do you feel like you need to approach the game preparation phase? Does that need to be evaluated further? Is that an issue with these slow starts and the losses, in your opinion?
Yeah, I understand where you can trend things up in the last years. Let's look at this year, for example. Defensively, until this past weekend, the four games previous, in the first two drives of the game, we had forced 7 punts and given up 1 score. We felt we started fast. I think we talked about in the App State, the Michigan State game, we had a chance to take commanding leads. Not going to say commanding, maybe overdoing it, but double-digit leads in both games early on. And a red zone failure prevented that. One became a win, one became a close loss. We started well in both those games. It was fairly obvious, and I think we have to take a step back for this team. I mean, again, the trend you're putting, I don't think that things that occurred in 2019 affect us today. I'm looking at what goes on with this football team. This football team, offensively, it took us a while to get into the game. It took us a while to get into the game in the Virginia game, and that's to be expected. Like, it would have taken North Carolina a while to get in the game if they weren't playing with Sam Howell. I mean, Tyler is showing massive courage in the way that he stays after it during the course of these games. But he's still a rookie quarterback. I mean, we're still not playing with our starting quarterback. And so when he got his feet, underneath him and started feeling comfortable and got a sense for what they were doing, because they were changing up the things that they'd shown beforehand, I thought it was as good as we've looked on offense all year.
You got a question?
Or the second half of the game. So, like I said, that doesn't deny,
Got a question?
whatever trend it is that you're saying in terms of the way that we prepare. And obviously we prepare and talk about starting fast. We have a start fast period every day in practice, but you also have to look at the reality of the team that you're coaching at that current time.
Do you feel like the defense on the flip side is playing well in these first quarters here recently?
Well, it's what I told you, the last 4 weeks we were. This past game we did not. So, I mean, that's what I said. I mean, did we prepare? Do we even practice? I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to say.
Did anybody ask anything about the offense yet?
4 weeks prior, but not this past week, from a preparation standpoint. So, I mean, if there was a smoking gun, it'd be easier to find, right?
Next, we go to Chris Stock. Chris, go ahead.
Coach, you made decisions in the offseason to call plays as a defensive coordinator and replaced assistant coaches to help improve recruiting. Just curious, how do you think those decisions have worked out so far?
I'm pleased with the, I mean, obviously, you can see it right now. I mean, one of the things that we talked about from a recruiting standpoint is our recruiting in our secondary, and I think D-Rob and DVD have done a phenomenal job with that. I think that matters. I think that's a little bit, from the depth that we have right now, or the lack of depth that we have right now, and some of the lack of competition we have right now. I think that's going to be a big help for us going forward. I think our front, again, I mean, when you look at our defensive line play and our front and the way where we were, the way that those guys are improving, I'm very pleased with that. I'm not pleased with the performance of our defense. Obviously, I mean, it's been well below our standards. And when you watch some of the gross attempts of tackling this past week and some of the fundamentals, people are just losing their training out on the field. And there's it's hard to unpack in every situation, what causes somebody to abandon their training like that. But at this point, it doesn't matter why. I mean, we go to things that just can't be tolerated, and the thing you can do as a coach is you can limit playing time. So that's where this thing goes on. There's an ability for this defense to get better and still play in the remaining stretch of games the way we think we're capable of playing. But we simply have to stop. And I think you saw it for flashes in the second half of the game. We had 4 second halves and 3.5. We should have had a fifth, waiting for a third down penalty. It's been way too inconsistent. And a lot of times it's been guys that have.
So what are some of these hard questions that y'all want to hear?
And for whatever reason, they're not getting it done. So it's our job as coaches to get it fixed.
Next up, we'll go to Manny Navarro. Manny, go ahead.
Hey, Manny. Obviously, you talked about guys abandoning their training. You guys are obviously working to get this right, taking playing time away, etc. But have you reached out to any other coaches, I don't know, you're friends with around the league about how to sort of, I don't know, just jumpstart a change? You put a lot of faith into the older guys at the beginning of the season. They've obviously let you down. You're going to the younger guys now. But is there anything in practice, anything at all that you're going to try here maybe over the next few weeks to try to get this thing turned around?
We have. Let's say 2 things. One, I don't want to oversimplify the line between older guys and younger guys, because it's not all older guys, it's not all younger guys. But yes, I mean, to a point, I mean, again, I think there's one of the dynamics of this team is we do have some talented young guys who are earning their way more and more on the field, and creating more competition with the older guys. That's a thing. That's true that you mentioned. Yeah, I mean, you're always looking at what's going on around the country. You're always talking to coaches around the country. You're always looking to change the emphasis in certain drills that you've done. We've done that through the course this year. And that's why, again, if it was guys that have not tackled, that have never shown that they can tackle, and they're not getting it done on the field, you say, man, we're not training these guys the right way. When you got a guy that's got a long list of doing it the right way, and then at a certain moment, kind of just pull something out crazy. Somehow that to me is that has to be reflected in the emotion of the moment. I mean, whether it's trying to do too much, or it's trying to press, trying to make the big hit instead of just secure a tackle. 2 plays on 3rd down on quarterback draws. There's 3 quarterback runs that just were, egregious. And is it trying to be a hero in a season where the players are feeling the strain of not getting off to a great start? It doesn't matter what the why is, but there are guys that have made many tackles in their Miami career. Now you see a guy like James. James is a young guy. Okay, that's fine. Maybe he's trying to make something happen, beyond what the play dictates. That's fine. Young guys, you fix that. You love the aggressiveness of the young guys we have. Now they got to do their job as well, because that translates to winning. But when you've seen guys that have a long resume of being able to put guys on the ground and they're not getting it done, then that to me is something we got to try to unpack with them between the ears more so than what just happens on the field.
Next up, we'll go to Tim Reynolds. Tim, go ahead.
Thanks, Carter. Manny, I imagine football is like a lot of walks of life. Like if you walk into a workplace every day and it's all bad, you're not going to work very well. I imagine it's the same with your staff. I imagine it's the same with players. I guess, how do you try to not make the building seem like a big funereal atmosphere right now? How are you trying to not let, last week beat you again, and the week before that beat you again? How do you, even in times like this, how do you try to keep the mood somewhat positive, somewhat enjoyable for guys to be around each other?
I think people follow their leaders, and that starts with the coaches, the assistant coaches, strength staff,
That's a good.
the leadership of the team, and all that goes down.
Is that better?
Everybody can be
Does it sound better?
angry
Does
and
that sound better?
disappointed at the way that we start and the way that these games have
Give me a
gone.
thumbs up if you can hear me
But
better.
the thing we get to do in football is always get to go back to work, and there's always a next mission. I think if you keep, a lot of times after losses, if you keep the emotions out of it, what I mean by that is like on Sunday when we have Tell the Truth Sunday, when we're watching the film of some of the plays from Saturday's game, it's not, this is what the tape is saying. We can critique the performance without critiquing the performer. And you've got to be able to make that distinction. And we all want the performance to be better. The performer does, and if all the individual performers perform better, then the team's performance is better. And that's our job as a coach. But the only way that can happen is we have to own the performance, and the individual has to own the performance. And sometimes that can make people sensitive and uncomfortable, and that is what it is, because we're all uncomfortable after we lose. So I think it's, I think when you're a part of a team, you always have a mentality of how do we fix it? How do we get it better? And then I think what does help is, again, losing stinks, but the fact that our guys do fight, the fact that we came back from way behind, the fact that we've had 2 drives in the last 2 games that if they had ended differently, could put us 2-0 win the league. I think the players recognize that there's something there. I think the players recognize that there is a fight in this team and there is a bond in this team. We just got to play better and not put ourselves in those situations where we're in such a hole.
Next, we'll go to Susan Miller-Degnan from the Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Thanks for why you took some.
Manny, unfortunate about Cam Harris. Is it a knee injury? Specifically, what's the injury? When is the surgery? If he is having surgery, or did he have it? And excuse me, did you talk to him at all about coming back? I guess next season. I guess that's premature. And I just wanted to also know about De'Eric, because I didn't see him out there. And sorry if there's too many I'm piling on, but you get the idea with Cam Harris. And I was wondering about, Thad, Cody, and Jalen.
Yeah, Cam has a knee injury. They will require surgery. I think they're going to try to schedule surgery for next week.
I hate that.
Let some of the swelling die down. And it's way too early to talk about anything other than just giving Cam our support right now, and we'll worry about what happens next afterwards. In terms of De'Eric, De'Eric had the surgery last week. And I guess the way I explained it, the doctors didn't want him flying because of the inflammation or swelling, or I don't know what it is. So De'Eric wasn't with us up in Chapel Hill, but I imagine he'd be with us the rest of the way.
And then also the other like Cody and Thad, just some comments on them, how they've been doing. And obviously Jalen Knight, he had a really good game, and he's going to be the main man, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jalen was outstanding.
Man.
To Jalen's credit, he's worked very hard in training camp, even when he was out for the first quarter of the season. I felt like a lot of people inside the program felt like Jalen was really going to do some things when he got back out in the field. And he was close against Virginia a few times. So to see him make an explosive pass play, catch a ball, and just kind of run by outrun the linebacker, and the corner sort of stood there and he ran by him, and it was a big time play. And I thought he ran the ball well. He's got to be the guy now. I mean, that's what we have. I mean, obviously to have two of your top three backs, we felt super good about all three. To have two of those guys go down is tough, but to have someone as talented as Jalen, really provides us with a chance to still to be good in the running game. I thought we really were much better in the running game, and then what he can do as a pass catcher. Cody, I thought, had a really nice touchdown run against Carolina. Just kept his legs turning. I think he gives you a different change of pace from Jalen because he's a tough runner, tough inside the tackles runner, and I think Franklin the same way. We saw in the time he had against Central Connecticut. So those are the three guys that we got. Got to roll with them. Like in a lot of spots, we're kind of we're as thin as you can really be and still function as a team. But we are blessed with the guys that we do have.
Thanks, Manny.
Next, we'll go to Kobe Price. Kobe, go ahead.
Thanks, Carter. Hey, man, I had a couple of questions for you. The first one I wanted to ask was, do you expect for Avante Williams to play a role in this Saturday's game? I know that the suspension, I think, the sixth game just happened this past Saturday.
We'll get Avante out there. I'm not sure how big a role he'll play. When Avante was out, Avante missed all training camp and wasn't allowed to practice with us for the first 2 weeks of the season. So he's really only been back for, I guess, maybe 4 weeks. As a full-time guy practicing. So there's some things that he missed, but it'll be good to have him back out there, get him into the competition. I think I would have to assume he'd have a role on special teams just to get, again, it's still his first ever college game out there. So you have to temper the expectations of just,
305,
how you build your portfolio going forward.
So what about the assistant?
Put Cape on doing special, just do a great job of whatever role he's asked to play, and I'm sure it'll expand from there.
And defensively, we've asked you a bunch of questions about it, but how much is the emphasis this week going into the NC State game going to be on? We make the plays, right? We make the plays, you end the drive, but we can't have those, those penalties on third down or, a big penalty on whatever second down that you made the play, you made the right play, but now the other team gets the first down out of it and had nothing to do with, making the right play.
That's right. I mean, if you want to win, right? I mean, yeah, to your point. I mean, we gave them 11 points. Continuing drives that that they got in a game where we lost by 3, and these are the fine margin plays that are in our control that we can fix to give ourselves a much greater chance of victory. It doesn't matter against any opponent. And again, whether those are young guys who are being over exuberant. I mean, there are some penalties where it's me bang bang. I thought McLeod's was very close. That's going to happen when you're on a quarterback, but some others that, and again, sometimes it's trying to do too much. Do your job, and we don't have to play hero ball.
Hey,
I
put
think
this
that's
question
the whole
together
thing.
for me.
Good defenses are
Manny,
made of 11
has
guys that just take pride in doing their job.
the number one
Plays aren't
recruiting.
made, they make it. Jafari Harvey didn't make a
in the
hero play.
coastal
He
for
just
15 years.
did a great
the
job
last
playing on
5
the top
years,
ball ended up right in
put
his
more
hand. He
players
caught it
in
right
his
for a touchdown. That's just
NFL
his job
than any
and the
team in
play
the
down on
ACC.
him. And
Why
I
doesn't
think there
Miami
can be
play,
a sense of
but
when
has only
people
played
start
for
to
the
press
ACC championship
and do
once?
too much, that can show up in the tackle.
Why is
times,
it-
and people can press and do too much.
I want to get Manny to
and that can
answer,
show
how
in
does he
the-
see
in the-
those numbers in
penalties,
terms of
and
winning?
just,
Put
hey,
that
listen,
question together.
focus on what you have to do your job, and that's the pathway to victory. No one needs to wear a cape. No one has to justify expectations. No one has to justify, some sort of recruiting hype. I mean, just fit in the framework of the team, and you'll be amazed at how the plays will now come. The plays will be there to be made.
Next, we'll go to David Thompson. David, go ahead.
Hey, Manny, I was wondering if you could just talk about a little bit about NC State's defense and just, what's impressed you about what they've done this year.
Well, they're so experienced. They always play a little bit of a unique scheme that you don't see week in, week out. To to my last question or my last comment,
When I ask Manny this
understand
question,
their
I
job,
just
they do
can't
their job
put it
very
in
well.
words. You know what I'm saying? This is where my
They get
media
you in the third down,
background
they nice job of
suffers.
mixing pressure.
I want to ask him,
Full out
how does he
pressure,
see those
full out
words? How does he
coverage.
see those
They kind of
moves?
have everything in between. And I mean, they just by every metric this year, and then the thing you can tell what's happened to them is that their confidence. They're playing with a ton of confidence. I mean, what they, starting here again, whether it was South Florida, you can see it in the Clemson game, really, other than just a couple plays in the La Tech game, and they've really stifled everybody that they've played. So, very confident team, very talented team, very physical team. So there'll be a great challenge again for Tyler. It's another defense for Tyler that doesn't present, as just, oh, you're only going to get these two coverages or a couple of looks. I mean, they've got some things.
Good one, Kyle.
For a young quarterback, because they can, when you're in a 3-man front, they can rush them all, they can drop them all, and everything in between. So, Tyler's got to make sure he's on point with his reads, and because things happen fast when you play against their defense.
We've got time for a couple more. We'll go to Tom D'Angelo from the Palm Beach Post. Tom, go ahead.
Thanks, Carter. Hey, Manny. Couple quick things on this morning when you said that I believe it was about when they were asking about the outside noise, the criticism. You said it was fair, and we know the kids are always on social media.
That's a more direct way to put
we
it.
need to make sure that doesn't seep in and that doesn't become a distraction to your team. And secondly, I guess this is going back kind of what you said last week is when you start making these moves and you find out kids who played a lot find out maybe their reps are reduced. How close will you be watching them to make sure, like you said last week, that doesn't kind of infiltrate into the locker room, that negativity?
Oh yeah, I mean, you're always watching that. I mean, we were watching that from the sideline because there were some moves that got made during the game on Saturday. But the thing is, this time there's enough of them that want to win. I mean, that's the bottom line. I think that maybe answers both your questions. We have a lot of guys that want to win the game. That's why we have played the way we have played in the last two second halves, the last couple of weeks. We got a lot of guys that have a lot of pride that want to win. They're not happy with the way the year's gone. No one is really happy with the way the year's gone. So I still don't. I think from the outside noise perspective, the outside noise can't be any more upset than what's going on in here. Here we have a chance to do something about it, though, and that's why the players want to play with guys that, look. I told the defense outside. It's hard to be out there on defense and lay my body on the line if I'm not sure suddenly the guy next to me is going to lay his on the line. And we have guys that have done that. I keep going back to it. If a guy had never done it, that'd be one thing. But I've seen guys that have thrown into tackles and done a great job of wrapping guys up. And when that's not happening, that can breed mistrust. So if anything, it's the opposite. If anything, the players who do want to do it the right way, they need to be out there with other guys that they know, hey, so listen, if I'm going to give everything I have for this, physically in terms of how we tackle, I need to know that the other 10 guys out there will as well. And like I said, that's part of the fundamental of how a program grows, and getting guys that can replace guys. If all of a sudden, for whatever reason, I get to a point in my career where, I don't feel like doing things a certain way, I mean, that's what everyone's talking about, how it was here back in the past, where at some point, you felt the pressure from the guy next to you. And that's just been one of the weird things about this team and the way it's come together. So I don't, your point about the concern, I look at it the other way. I want there to be concern. I want there to be concern. And if guys aren't making plays and they end up having their role reduced and they're upset about it, I mean, that's tough, man. But they get it because they understand the standard.
And we'll wrap up with Andrea Adelson. Andrea, go ahead.
Manny, with Tyler, is there anything that you guys can do to build off of what he's been able to do in the second halves of games so that he can get off to a faster start and so the offense can get off to a faster start?
I think it's always a great question. I think that's one thing you're always looking for as a coach. Are there easy ways you can build easy offense and do it? There was some of that a week ago. I mean, Tyler will tell you just something. I think part of it is being on the road the first time and trusting yourself and just ripping the ball. I mean, Tyler can rip the ball. And there were certainly some throws early on in that game where you could tell he was, either trying to aim it or place it or whatever. So I think what he's learned these last couple of weeks is he can do it. And he just got to believe himself and trust himself. And there's no magic pill you can give to a quarterback to make him do that. They got to get in the game and know that they can do it in those situations. So, my hope for Tyler, the way he's finished last couple weeks, will give him confidence that he can start faster. Because if Reds keep dialing up plays, that guy's wide open. I mean, really, in the first play of the game, could have been explosive on not a very difficult throw. It's a throw he's made a million times in practice. And Tyler sees that, he knows, But again, that's what's playing with a young quarterback. You're going to go through some of that, and that's going to cause our offense some starts and stops at times. That's just reality. There's not a lot of people in the country now that are not playing with their number one guy, ripping up and down the field. And the fact that we still scored as much as we scored and had a chance to win the game at the end means we're doing the right things over there, and we got a guy that we can win with.
Great. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will see you later this week.
Thanks, Carter.
Recording stopped.
That's not it, bro. Yeah. No. What's going on, man? Monday morning, we back in this thing. About to talk about everything from Bitcoin to ball. You just heard Manny. Yeah, that last statement, that's not it. That's not how things work. We got Lashley at 1:30. We got Packy at 1:30. I wanted to ask Manny. I was about to ask him the tough question that you guys are about to ask him. You guys always talking about. I was going to ask him, why doesn't it correlate to wins, the recruiting? But maybe I can ask Lashley. But then he probably say, ask Manny. So we got Lashley and Packy coming up. NC State, I think we got NC State at home. Last night, Seattle Seahawks had a backfield full of South Florida kids. You had Alex Collins. You remember Alex Collins, the running back? Geno Smith. You had a boy Travis Homer. And even though he's from Georgia, he had DJ Dallas in the backfield for Seattle. DJ Dallas is a Miami Hurricane kid. He's not from South Florida, but the rest of those guys from South Florida, man, I was proud to see those guys in there, man, especially Geno. Geno right here from where I'm from. Like, I know Geno family from the hood. I mean, grew up around them. I think he's the uncle of Jeremiah Smith, the Chaminade wide receiver who scored 2 touchdowns the other night. He'll be big time. Also, guys seem like they have a NFL, a way to breed NFL kids or something. They figured out a formula or something. I don't know. KJ Osborne works so hard. You know what I'm saying? The work ethic on dog. Like, he's the type of dude that I just won't. Yeah, I just won't bet against a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't saw what he's doing in the NFL. But I see every week he has a play or makes a play. Yeah, Dallas got a little bigger. Yeah. Lashley offense isn't what it was originally supposed to be. We're supposed to be fast moving, running a lot of plays. Yeah, I was talking to X about that. I mean, they get in the rhythm every now and then, but it's a rhythm you have to get in. And where my coach is at? My coach is in here. What the hell Hayes at? We need him. Yeah, you have to get in a rhythm in order to go fast. I've heard people say. Seems like we're never in the rhythm. Oh, that boy say F-Cell up 20%. Man, shout out to ILD squad, man. We in here eating, man. Shout out to the ILD squad. Talking about being up. If you want to get involved, the link is right there on YouTube. The link right there on the YouTube at the top, pinned at the top. If you haven't seen it, here it goes. Or send us a text, 786-405-9499. But yeah, man. Terrell say F-Cell FCL up 20%. We got a few things on our watch list that we put out this morning that's up. SOS was up. Some options we got into last week though. The one everybody who get in. Everybody don't get in everything. Some options that we got into last week though. Big time. Up big time. And I can actually, let's see, pull those in here and show y'all a few. Oh yeah, I'm always up talking about finances, man. I'm gonna save some of my people somehow. I'm saving somebody. Somebody getting saved, goddamn it. Somebody getting saved. I don't give a goddamn. Let me see. Yeah, pull them in there just like that, huh? Just go on there and pull them in there. That's one. PROG option last week. Out all the way to 21st. It's up. It's up 200%. And I got another one that's up 100%. Big time, big dog. Big time. Big time. 100% and 20%. 1 second. 300%, dog. 300%. Putting on this oil, man. I don't know if y'all can see the name of this oil. So we up 300%, man. If y'all want to get on the ILD squad, basically we put receipts in there, we put plays in there, we show you what we're investing in, and all you gotta do is copy it. Anybody can copy and paste. Like all you gotta do is copy it. And the reason we set it up that way is because we didn't want you guys trying to learn the craft. Everybody want to learn, man. Most people, when they realize at the end of the day, they just want to make money. That's it. They just want to make money. That's it, dog. So listen, I think we got Lashley and Packy. I'm gonna let you guys run that. Lashley and Packy, 1:30. Let's see if they're on here. Might be on already.
Unit
Recording in
and
progress.
Get the guy in space because we feel confident that he can get it done.
Coach, we got Chris
I'm
Stockton
gonna let this
inside
run
the
for you
unit. Chris,
guys,
go ahead.
man. Listen, I'm gonna run a hand
Coach,
something
just
real
what's the
fast,
status of
and
Sam
I'll let
Brooks?
that run for
A
y'all.
couple games
Y'all
ago,
ready?
played sparingly. I didn't see him out there. It just is he with you guys? Is he someone that could potentially be in the mix? What's the latest with Sam? And
Yeah, we'd love to get him in the mix. Obviously going through camp injured, set him back a little bit, but going forward, we know he's a guy that can play, and once he's in that position where he feels like he can play well, and we have the confidence in him, get him in there, we would.
And sorry, just to follow on what you said earlier about trying to find different guys. Is there things that'll happen differently in practice this week, or do you still like the guys that have been playing a lot so far, or just kind of what's the plan moving forward?
Yeah, we had a great meeting yesterday as a defense as a whole.
I like that.
And just, it's not to point out anybody, but it's just to show everybody on a defense. What we say is if you're out there and you're giving your body for your teammates, you want to be out there with guys that are doing the same.
Check out the rest of the
people are going to
conference.
mis-execute some things. People are going to have some communication errors. But the things that happen over and over again, obviously we got to look at it as a coaching staff is who can improve our defense personnel-wise. So it was a good meeting. It was kind of a come together meeting, but also understand where we're falling short. And if that's a personnel issue, then at some point we got to get it fixed. That's on us as coaches to get it fixed.
Coach, we'll go to Kobe Price at the Sun Sentinel. Kobe, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, when you look at last year's defense versus this year's defense, obviously there are guys in different roles, different playing time, et cetera. But just from a performance standpoint, overall, how would you compare, I guess, the performance? What areas has maybe this defense improved at or maybe not has improved at compared to last year?
Yeah, every year is a new year and a new team. But like I said, I think we needed to improve on our run game and explosive runs. And it's such a weird year this year defensively. There's sometimes in the second half of the UNC game, we held them to 100 yards. So, but the explosive plays are just hampering us right now, and that gets passed on from every level. Whether it's up front, the linebackers, or the secondary. An explosive play doesn't happen because of one person or one position group. So I think it's gotten better from last year. I do believe that. I think our run defense is elite at times, and then at times it gets out of there and splits us for explosive play when you think we got it bottled up. So, eliminating our explosive plays. Obviously what we went through last year against UNC, giving up 550. We had to be better against the run. I think that has improved. But again, we got to eliminate the explosive plays, and obviously it's constant improvement on getting that done.
If I may follow up real quickly, how's Counter doing in terms of? I know he just came back first game. How do you feel? What did you say about just making that comeback?
Man, he looked really good out there. Probably should have played him a little bit more. I was a little worried about his conditioning level. He played on all third downs. But he just has a knack for the ball. You look at his production, he played about 30 snaps. Obviously, like I said, I should have played him a little more, but he just finds the football and makes big time plays in big time situations. The moment's never too big for him. So he's good. He's healthy. He's fast as ever. So I'm excited to see him this weekend.
Last two, Coach. We'll start first with Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hi, John. I was going to ask about Keontra also. Wayman Steed now it says Keontra Smith, or I think it says or Wayman Steed. Maybe Wayman Steed, how do you think he's done in place of Keontra? And I know he's one of the older guys for sure. Is his playing time going to get reduced now, or what's his situation?
Yeah, so coming in the season, obviously, Keontra was named the starter. Just had a better camp than Steed. Even like I said, going into the season, Steed had a great camp. But I like what I've seen out of Steed. I love his attitude. He understands K4 came back this week, and they were just rolling in and out of there. So I just love the attitude of both those guys handling who can go in and who can come out. But it'll be up to this week's of practice, who can handle the game plan better, and obviously. The production of K4, of Keontra, is hard to keep him off the field. But I have confidence in both those guys going into the game right now. They're both playing pretty well.
And one other thing I wanted to ask you about, I just thought of this, Andy Borregales. How's he doing? He's making those kicks. How fast did he get over that missed kick? Because I know he's making
Yeah, so after the game, he was after the Virginia game, obviously beside himself. Very upset. He's such a competitor. He just knew in his heart he was going to make that kick. He makes it 99 out of 100 times. So he was very, very upset. We talked later that night after the Virginia game, and he had kind of got over it. I mean, he knew what he did. He knew he had to make that kick. But he just promised himself, promised us that he'll get better. He'll make the next ones, and then you saw him kick the other night. And some big kicks he had to make, and he really probably hit some of the best balls he's hit all year the other night up in North Carolina with a little windy condition. So have all the confidence in him, confident kid, very mature. So I'm glad he bounced back and hit those through. It's a big thing because obviously kicking can become you can get a mental block after a big kick that you miss like that. But it was good getting him back out there and making those.
Coach, last up, we'll go back to Manny Navarro from The Athletic. Manny, go ahead.
Hey, John, just wanted to ask you, we saw Manny Diaz after the game kind of standing outside the locker room there on the field. They're very focused on, trying to figure out how to solve this. And you're with him behind the scenes. You just talk to maybe the effort he's putting in to try to get this resolved and to get you guys on a winning track. Because I think, obviously, from the outside, everybody just cares about the wins and losses. But he's obviously trying to get this thing right.
Yeah, you look at our last two games, and it's just, Virginia comes down to kick. and we win that game. And this game came down to the last drive, but we felt we were moving the ball down the field and had an opportunity to go win it. So really, he was at a loss of words with the team, just as all we were. Even talking to the linebackers, they're heartbroken. They're young men that are heartbroken. They lay it on the line. It came down to the last two drives. We could be 2-0 in conference play. So we are working extremely hard. We got to, the battle is X's and O's and wins and losses, but they're humans too. They feel the emotion. They feel the pain. And we gotta navigate through that. We gotta navigate with our guys of how to win a game, and what's causing us not to win games. And that was a big point of contention yesterday. Is there were 3 points all over the field throughout the game. You just got to find those 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points, whatever it is, to take home a win. But the guys are hurt. Like I said, they're human. They're young men. We just got to come back and find a way to win. But it was a tough locker room. I know that after that game, the guys were hurt. They tried really hard. They fought to the very end, and with all the lack of depth and guys playing a lot of snaps and guys in different roles, it's never easy. But as a coaching staff, we're gonna find a way to win. We gotta go find one this weekend.
Coach, thanks very much for spending a few minutes with us today. Good luck the rest of the week in practice.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Coach Lashley will be joining us at 2 o'clock, so just hang tight for a little bit here.
Recording stopped.
Hey, Coach, you got us?
Gotcha.
All right. Hang tight for 1 sec.
Recording in progress.
All righty, everyone. We are joined now by offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach Rhett Lashley. If you've got a question for Coach Lashley, please use the hand raise function so we can get to everybody. And Coach, we're going to start with Cal Friedman from WB1. Cal, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. I wanted to ask, it's been a difficult adjustment going from De'Aaron King, so mobile and a dual threat, to Tyler Van Dyke, who's more of a pro-style quarterback. I wanted to ask, has it been challenging adjusting the play calls from De'Aaron to Tyler?
I think the challenge is you're just learning a new quarterback. And I think it's not as much that, one's more of a dual threat, one's not, although, Tyler's done some good things with his legs. I've been fortunate to coach both kinds of guys and both fit in what we do. I think it's just been more learning. Each quarterback has kind of their own strengths, their own comfort zones. You get used to them, what play calls they're best at in certain situations. And then I think there's probably just the chemistry with the guys they're playing with too. And so when you try to build your offense in the direction of one quarterback's strengths and, you lose that quarterback, you bring in a new guy, you can start to learn and build around what he does well. But not only are you learning him and is he kind of getting comfortable, but the guys around him are kind of learning him too, and maybe starting to do some things a little bit differently than maybe they were doing with the other guys. So, I think it's been a good process. Tyler's been great. He's been improving, I think, each week. And I think, at times we started to kind of find that rhythm of what that should look like. So hopefully we can continue to get more consistent.
Coach, we've got Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, two areas. One on the running back situation. What do you lose without having Cam? And obviously, how do you divide up the snaps now? What did you think of Jalen? And as far as Tyler goes, Manny Diaz said he can really wing the ball. He has a really strong arm. But we saw there were some overthrows, some balls that weren't really accurately thrown. Do you think that's a lack of experience or nerves, or what's the reason?
To the running back question, obviously losing Cam, we've lost probably two of our top three veteran guys coming into the season now. So, and Cam had the most experience. You lose a lot with Cam in terms of the experience in pass protection and just, especially when you got a young quarterback in there. I mean, Cam knows the pass protections, at this point to the level that, if Tyler knows them too, but if he ever needed any help, Cam would be able to assist there. But just, there's a lot that goes into it other than just running the football. So you lose that experience, you lose the depth. You just hate it for Cam, just like you did for Don, to lose two guys who were expecting to have a great season. And fortunately for us, we do have Jalen. I thought Jalen played really well the other day. We got Cody Brown and Thad Franklin. So, those will be the three guys that are getting the bulk of the work now. And I think, Jalen's got the most experience. He's explosive. He did some really good things. And I think, Cody's got his feet wet this year, and you'll see him and Thad now down the stretch as well. With regards to the quarterback question, I think probably early in the game it could be more nerves. I think some of it is just experience. And, he settled down, I think, in both of the last two games as the games have gone on. He's gotten better. In both games, the opponent did a really good job of early in the game showing some looks that were a little unique to what they had done. And so maybe some things we hadn't been able to show him or prepare him for as well. And I thought, as the game went on, he adjusted nicely. But I think Tyler would be the first to tell you he can make some of the throws he's been missing. And, I look for him to start making those on a more consistent basis as the season goes on.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, we'll go to Chris Stockett inside the U. Chris, go ahead.
Coach, I remember earlier this year you had talked about maybe not targeting specific players, kind of just philosophy-wise. And I was just wondering, saying that again, Will Mallory just can't, just not being as productive as you guys hope. And then Mike Harley as well, just not as productive as he was a year ago. Is there any thought of getting those guys going? Is there ways that you can get them guys going? Or is this just kind of the production you expect the rest of the way?
No, I think there is. I think, it's stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet with regards to Mike Harley. I think we targeted Mike down the field several times, and
and either the ball was tipped away or, knocked down or pass interference or whatever may have you. There's a couple times he was probably going to be the primary guy and on a third down scenario where we got some pressure. So, if a guy only has 3 or 4 catches, it's always easy to say, hey, you're not targeting a guy, but he may have been targeted, 10 times throughout the game. And some games, those guys get 7 or 8 of those targets. Some games it doesn't go that way. You also got a new quarterback that, is getting adjusted to those guys. And so sometimes you may call a play and it goes to someone else, So, we want to keep Mike going. I think Xavier Strempo does a good job too. So there's no intentionality to not get him going. And, we fully expect him to continue to make plays and hopefully even more than maybe stay remain Saturday, but and get more opportunities his way. With regards to Will, I thought Will made a really good play on the slant and got a first down for us. That was good to see. And, just the way the game plan went, there was opportunities for Will. We tried to throw him the ball in the end zone. Again, sometimes the stat sheet ain't going to show the production that maybe certain guys want, but we're trying to get the right guys the ball. We're going to continue to do it. And, hopefully we'll continue to improve and get more results out of it.
Coach, we got Kobe Price with the Sun Sentinel. Kobe, go ahead.
Hey, Red, how you doing?
Hey, Kobe.
We talked to Manny about this too, about, getting Tyler a little calmer to start games. I guess, have you been in the position before as a coach where, you got to get the quarterback, I guess, be more relaxed and just kind of like have spark plug of confidence? I guess, what do you do in that situation to help him become more confident in himself?
Yeah. I mean, every game we're going to go into the game trying to get the quarterback off to a good start. It doesn't matter who you're playing with, and we're going to try to get our guys the ball and those touches and those things. This last game was a little unique. We decided we kind of took a shot the first play with a little flicky flicker. Had the secondary option open, we just missed it, and then we get behind the sticks in 3rd and long, and it just didn't go the way we wanted. We knew that was a possibility if we were going to be aggressive on the open play, but I mean, the more, like I said, to I think the first question, the more get more comfortable learning what he likes the most, and he gets more comfortable and saying, hey, how can we maybe try to get off to a better start? Absolutely, that's going to be the goal every game. And so I don't think there's any question. The first 4 drives scored 3 points. It's hard to. We're not helping our team out. We're not helping the defense out when we start that way. It starts so slow and get in a hole. And so we're definitely trying to find ways to get ourselves offensively ignited a lot sooner than we have been.
Coach, we got Manny Navarro from The Athletic. Manny, go ahead.
Hey, Red. So we saw Jake Garcia obviously made the trip. I saw him with his boot, and I know Coach mentioned maybe you get him back at some point in November. Is there any chance he could start practice around that time, or is it, maybe be available for a game? And then I know this is sort of if not, maybe this could have happened, but had Jake been healthy, would he have definitely been somebody playing along with Tyler here over these last couple games?
Yeah, it's great questions. We traveled Jake, even though he's not ready to play yet, just because, he's a true freshman that he'd never been in a road environment. So I think sometimes getting those guys in those environments is good. And there is the chance that, he's kind of week to week. I can't give you a date because they haven't given me one. But it's not outside the possibility that he could be available before the season's over. So with that being the reason, we just felt like getting him in those atmospheres, keeping him engaged with the team, keeping him kind of his mind in a game plan mode was the best thing to do. If that's a possibility as the season goes on. With regards to your second question, when we lost to Eric, our plan against Central Connecticut was to start Tyler and to play both Tyler and Jake. I thought they both did really well in that game. So had he been healthy, we would have probably taken a similar approach to the Virginia game and started Tyler, but tried to play them both and just, kind of see how it played itself out. And, obviously without Jake being available, it's kind of hard to say how it would play out. But we got a lot of faith in both those guys. And, right now our whole team's really rallied behind Tyler.
Coach, last one for we're going to go back to Susan Miller-Degnan of the Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Rhett, this one is on the NC State's defense. Let's see, the first in the nation in 3rd down conversion defense and 13th in passes intercepted, 11th in rushing defense, just on and on. Very good defense. What kind of challenge is that going to be for Tyler and for the offense?
Yeah, they're a really good group. we obviously started the season off with a really good defense, but these next 2 weeks we're playing, arguably two of the top defenses in our league. And like you said, with NC State, I mean, you could kind of gets old saying all their incredible stats. I mean, they're giving up 90 rushing yards a game, which is incredible. They're giving up 14 points a game, which is incredible. They're like you said, first against third down, I think it's like 25%. They turn you over. They're a veteran group. We played them there last year. A lot of these guys are back. Maybe two guys were missing from that game due to injury. And, so they really know their scheme. I think it's their second or third year in the system. It's a really unique scheme. It's an odd stack scheme, which, a lot of people don't play that anymore. And so, like we said this a year ago, it's a unique scheme. Those guys know that scheme so well. They do a great job of, with that scheme, really stopping the run, as their stats show you. But they're only giving up 200 yards a game passing as well, because when you're in that odd scheme, you really are able to fit the run in a way that still, once you repass, gives you an extra defender underneath against the pass. They do a really, really good job mixing up those looks. It won't be easy for any quarterback, much less a guy making his fourth start. So we have a great challenge for us there. But hey, that's what we expect every week in our league is a really good challenge. And, we got to get off to a better start early. And, we got to find a way to be consistent like we were in the second half the other night for 4 quarters.
Coach Lashley, thanks for spending a few minutes with us today. Good luck the rest of the week in practice.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
How does Coach Lashley look to y'all? Does he look disgruntled? Does he look, what y'all say about Manny? Does he look disgruntled? Does he look disheveled? Does he? Huh? How does he look to y'all? Trashly, you're off. Trashly. Call him man Trashly, man. Y'all boys crazy, man. How does he look to y'all, dog? Huh? Help me out here. Did he say anything about Cam? Did he say anything about Thad? Did they mention Thad or anything of that nature? Had to step out for a minute, man. So I just let y'all boys rock with that on y'all own. But I'm back, big. He said that Cody will feature more. Man, dang, I want to see Thad. I want to see Thad get some. I want to see Thad get some burn, man. I want to see Thad rock, dog. I want to see Thad get some burn, dog. So, man, if y'all want to call in, man, 786-405-9499. Anybody want to call in? We can do the call-in thing today. So y'all want to call in, man, 786-405-9499. I know most of y'all at work right now. I know. I get it. The number scrolling at the bottom. Same number, 786-405-9499. But Manny said Wiggins and Pope in the portal, boy. But Wiggins have been playing, huh? Like Wiggins have been getting on the field. That's crazy. Wiggins was in the 2 deep. Let me see. Let me go check this. And yeah, 786-405-9499, man. Y'all boys want to So, man, y'all want to call in, man, 786-405-9499. Wiggins played a snap thing against Central Connecticut State and dropped the wide open. Think we should bring Wiggins on the show? See if we can get an interview with Wiggins and Pope. Y'all want to hear what Wiggins and Pope got to say? Huh? Got into a nice little debate with a guy on nice little debate, man. The guy was very resourceful, fool. Y'all may know the guy. I think he run a page on Facebook. Name is Cole Perry. Y'all know Cole Perry? Andrew Martin. You tried calling 786-405-9499? Oh, you did call, huh? Andrew Martin? Huh? Andrew Martin. 530. Let me see. All right, man. Crib Talk, Caneville Football. You on live. Who we talking to?
Hey, man, it's Drew. It's Andrew.
All right, Drew, man, you live, man. What's going on, bro?
Not much, man. Just wanted to chop it up with you about this disappointment we watch every week.
All right, man. Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear Andrew. Make sure everything clear and stuff, man. What's up, man? What you want to talk about?
Not much. I did want to talk to you about one thing that's just been bothering me since Saturday. Just watching our game and watching the Florida game. But what is going on with the development of linebackers at the high school level in Florida? Because it seems like the big three don't have Florida linebackers that are making a difference. Like, it just seems like the same mistakes across Miami, Florida State, where these kids are just not like playing like a linebacker. They're just out there. Like what's your take on it? Because this is not like how it was when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was always top linebacker from the state of Florida, dominating the college game. And now I just don't see it.
You don't see it? So let's play this game. Let's do this. In the comment section, name some linebackers out of South Florida that are doing well in college football. It may not be in. You might be right, Andrew, but in the comment section, name some linebackers that are performing, that are out of South Florida. They're on the college team and they're performing. So you're saying just Miami, or you're saying across college football?
I'm saying between the three programs in the state, Florida State, Miami. Neither one of those programs have a Florida linebacker that's from the state that's doing things, and they haven't had one in a while now. Like, I watched the Florida game before our game, and LSU ran the same play like 20 times, and the linebackers couldn't even figure it out. They were nowhere in the vicinity of the play, and it's like, you watch our linebackers play, we already know our linebackers are trash. So it's like, and then you watch Florida State play, it's like the same thing. It's like, well, damn, I thought it was just a minor thing, but it seems like all three schools in the Big Three don't have the Florida linebackers that are the dominant figures like it was back in the early 2000s.
Right. No, right. Okay, so a few things. James Williams plays what position?
Safety.
He plays safety, right? When he's on the field, what position is he lining up at?
So what I've seen is safety.
He look like he's lining up as a safety to you?
Yeah, I mean.
Have you seen him? Have you seen him cover anybody?
I mean, he's in the box.
Right. So let's think about it. Okay, now we're talking. He in the box, right?
Yeah.
Look like we're running a 4-4 or some shit, right?
I don't even know what we're running.
Right. So it looks so, and I'm kind of off the subject a little bit, but we're gonna get back. I'm gonna bring you back home to that. James Williams was recruited as a safety. They say he's playing safety, and now the last few weeks I've been saying it. I've been saying it on my show. How is James Williams on the field with the striker? I've asked that question. Right? So me and Coach Hayes was talking yesterday. You know, he the coach. Basically, it looks like Miami is playing like a 4-4. Like a 4, you know what I'm saying? Not like a 3-4, like a 3-4. I'm talking about a 4-4, like a 3-4.
There's some plays where I saw Amari Carter on the line. And Nestor was kind of off center, on the guard, and then Carter was playing like a 3 or 4 technique. And I'm like, what are we doing?
Right. So wait up. So follow me now. So it looks like Miami has told James, hey, you're a safety. We're gonna recruit you as a safety. You're gonna let you practice with the safeties. But if you want to play now, you want to get on the field now, we're gonna put you at this position, this thing. Like somebody said in the chat, like a rover. Listen, bro. Nobody in the chat has gave me a linebacker that's doing well in college football. I haven't seen it. I'm gonna have to scroll up. But okay, so James Williams looks like he's in a linebacker role, right? And he's showing up in the backfield like before everybody, right? Like he seems to be diagnosing shit and showing up in the backfield. So we know he's not at safety.
Yeah.
But he's performing, right? You see James Williams showing up, right? You see he's performing.
James Williams has been the best defender in my opinion in the last 2
Right.
weeks.
Chris Young Chris Young, one of the members just said it. The linebacker position, I've been saying this. I used to ask all my gurus on my team, ex McGuru and Coach Hayes, part of my squad, like, Coach, will the linebacker position ever go away? Like, is it dying? Like, no, a linebacker position can't go away because then you won't be able to stop the run. Well, yeah, but what I think is happening is I think college football has turned into, or football has turned into 7-on-7, right?
But you can't. But that's where I disagree, because when you watch teams from like Texas or California or even the Colorado-Texas A&M game, Colorado had a linebacker that was a 2-star, dominating, and like hitting the hole. He looked like a typical, like stereotypical linebacker. Hitting the hole, making plays all over the field. You watch some of these G5 games, and they'll have a 4- or 5th-year linebacker out there making plays. And then you look at us, you look at Florida, you look at Florida State, and then you just don't see it. And we're not even recruiting.
Okay. So Keontra Smith, does he look like a good linebacker to you?
No, Keontra Smith shouldn't even be playing linebacker. I feel like he got hurt because he's undersized at the position.
Did you see him play this weekend?
I saw him play, but to me, I feel like Keontra Smith, if they're gonna play anybody at Rover, that's who should be playing at Rover.
Well. But what did your eye see though? Did he play well this weekend from the linebacker position?
I didn't notice. I didn't notice. I gotta watch the game to see if I can find.
No, he did. He played well. He played well against. He made plays against Alabama also. The traditional linebacker, bro, is dying. It's dying slowly, right? Now, when you're talking about how these kids being taught in high school, and that part right there has always been a drop off. When you're talking about South Florida kids, they don't recruit South Florida kids thinking that they're going to come in like Texas kids and they're going to have all this technique. South Florida kids are recruited because of their talent and their upside. And that's always been like that. You understand? So that's to answer your question when you were saying, well, what's going on in high school? Like, why none of the Florida teams, you linebacker, Now, the better linebackers we have had, they went other places. T2 went.
Now ask you this: of the better linebackers in the state the last 4 years that left, who's doing anything?
T2 is hurt. Say it again.
I said, look at Anthony Solomon over at Michigan. He can't even get on the field. And then you have Jamar Brown is the only one at South Carolina, and he's not even like he just plays because the rest of the team is not really that good. You know, and so it's like I'm not seeing the dominant Florida linebackers that we grew up.
How is Derek Wingo? Derek Wingo playing? How is he playing?
He can't even see the field in Florida either.
He can't even get on the field. He haven't got on the field yet.
Can't even get on the field.
I think see right now, like I think T2 will have success when he get a chance. I think the kid out of Central, if Miami somehow could pull him.
You know, I went to the Bosco's Central game.
Yeah.
And both of Bosco's long touchdown runs was because of Wesley. Wesley either missed the hole, or he fit the hole wrong, or he missed the tackle. So it's like. He's the best linebacker in the state. This guy's giving up 2-3 touchdowns.
Well, we can't do it like that, can we? We can't do it like that. We can't say he gave up 2 or 3 touchdowns. But I get what you're saying. But I also I've seen him make extraordinary plays. You get what I'm saying? I've seen him. I haven't seen Wesley ever take over a game, like dominate a game, like Brooks used to do. But I've seen him. Anytime, I mean, for every bad play you see Wesley, I probably could give you 2 good plays. I don't know. He will perform. Wesley will do well on the next level. Well, right now, like I asked the question in the comment section, nobody really came back. Say Ruben Hippolyte. Nobody really came back with any answers. You know what I'm saying?
Hippolyte's not even starting that round. I mean, he plays, but he's not starting.
How long has he been at Maryland?
Is it second year?
Second year in Maryland?
Yeah, but remember, Maryland had a whole bunch of linebackers going to the portal this past year.
Right. And we got the kid out of St. Thomas up there too, right?
I don't think he plays. I think their 3 linebackers all from the DMV area.
Yeah. Our linebacker position, bro, is no man's land. Williams, I think, would have helped us a lot. Coach Williams, but he ended up going to UCF. We've been asking who's coaching the linebackers for the last 2 years now.
Yeah, I see that question since Kermit left.
It's almost as if our defense is set up to leave the linebackers in no man's land. I mean, but if there was it would have to be like a fast playmaker there. Like Keontra Smith is small, he get washed every now and then, but he's a dog. He's a dog. So he made plays this weekend. I think Sam Brooks may happen to be our best linebacker, but he's in the doghouse. One of the better ones. Bro, at linebacker, we're failing kids here at Miami. Across the state, I just think the better linebackers going other places, but I also think that football is changing. You understand? It's slowly changing, and I think you're going to see more of the kid. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I think you're going to see more. I think you're going to see more of the kid, like more kids like James or like that fast, rangy kid. I think that's what you're going to start seeing at linebacker. But to answer your question, bro, like for the Florida team, I don't think it has anything to do with the kids per se out of South Florida. Florida State and Miami, I mean, that's been, when it comes to coaching and the staffs and what's been going on there, can't really talk about that. Now, Florida is a difference. Florida is they're keeping it together. You know what I'm saying? But Florida State and Miami, I think what happens.
If you talk to the Florida fans, they even question like what's going on with their linebacker play because they can't stop a run. Like when you have a team that can't stop a run, they can't get a third and short, or stop a third and short, or they can't cover the flats. That's because their linebacker play is not that good. Like those are the areas where when I look at a team and I say, can they stop a team on third down? You know, like, yeah, you can have a good D line, but if you can't have linebackers that can't fill a hole and can't shut the block,
Right. Right.
Tackle, then.
Well, like Baby just said, even Bama is turning bigger safeties into linebackers. I just think it's a thing that's basically James is playing linebacker, bro. And he basically he's playing linebacker. I mean, it's almost as if they've tricked him, which is not a bad thing, into doing exactly what we all thought he should be, but he likes to be in the fray. Even when he was at safety, right, in high school, he was always in the box because he had the freedom to be. He wants to be in the action, but he wants to be called a safety. You know what I'm saying? But when the game starts, he's closer and closer to the line. He inches closer and closer to the line of scrimmage. He's in the fray. You know what I'm saying? He's always in the fray. But thanks for calling, bro. I got a couple more people calling. Let me get somebody else on here, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, man. If y'all want to call 786-405-9499. Get on here, talk it up. 786. I don't even remember that. 786-405-9499. Thanks for the call, big dog. Yeah, but as far as the linebacker position, like I asked y'all guys a question. Cam Harris, ACL, yeah. Where my homeboy at? What 2 Live when we need him, man? 2 Live, where you at, man? Where you at, 2 Live, when we need you? One second. Seven 786-405-9499. Y'all boys want to give a call. Franklin Brown and Knighton show, man. And yeah, I don't know if they trust Franklin enough. So it might be the Brown and Knighton show. Knighton, you know what I'm saying? Jalen Knighton, bro, what he did was no surprise to me. You feel me? Like, yeah, you put the talent in a position to make a play, and they make a play. Oh boy. Talk to me, man. Crib Talk Caneville. Who I got on the line? My homeboy Kyle, man. Kyle, you're live, man. So don't go and get on here talking about chasing ducks and blowing up.
I wanted to touch on what the dude that just called in, what he was saying, because it kind of, to me, it leads to a
Say that again. It leads to a what?
I think it leads to a bigger problem, or at least.
What? Talk to me. Let me hear it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think it's just how you're using guys. Like if you look at, I kept saying to look in the chat. Look at Ricker. Look at Venerables up there in Clemson. If you saw it last year, he's got, and no offense to nobody, but he's really just got these big country white boys playing linebacker. But what he do is make them go downhill. He don't try to ask them to do, all this other stuff, all this coverage or whatever. He make them go downhill. That's what they're good for. So like when McLeod was at linebacker, that's what you should be using him for. Stop trying to make him cover and do all this other stuff. If he ain't going downhill, you need to get him off of the field. So I think that's the problem with our linebackers and many of our other positions. We just don't know how to use the kids along with developing. So I don't think necessarily the linebacker position is a wash. It's how you use it. You got to use what you got in the right manner.
Right. I get what you're saying. So to piggyback on what everything else he was saying, he was saying that the Florida schools, Florida, Miami, Florida State, like what has happened to the position? Like there's no marquee guy. I even asked you guys a question, and nobody really had a name to put in the comment. Who do you have?
I don't watch enough college or high school to get it out. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really. You probably got to get somebody like Raymond after that question. So I couldn't really help on that. But I just people look Miami out there doing so many things wrong with the split.
Austin Cave, very interesting. He's kind of short, real stout guy. Some people seem to think he's from New Jersey, but he's actually from Alabama. And if you go watch his film, he looks like a linebacker, bro. Like he plays like a linebacker. I just don't know. Some of these kids, it seems like Chase Smith. Like, why are they so far on the depth chart? Is it they're not understanding the plays? I'm trying to understand like a kid like Austin Cave who appears to be a linebacker, maybe not that fat, maybe not as fast as you want him to be or big as you want him to be, but he has these linebacker instincts, like the young kid from Edgewater. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I didn't know who it was yesterday, and I was like somebody's show yesterday. I think it was Low, and because he had Chase Smith on yesterday, and I kept saying like, man, who's that number 9? He's not on special teams, not people heads off.
You say he had Chase Smith? You say he had Chase Smith on there?
Yeah, Chase Smith was on there.
On the Flow Show?
So, yeah. Flow get like a couple of kids. He got with some like NIL deals and stuff, so they make appearances and things.
Oh, really?
They have some tough questions, but they slide.
Yeah. He actually it was like a Zoom interview.
You know how you have like the little camera?
Yeah.
So like say if it's like you and Edge, you can bring on Coach Hayes. It was just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they talked there for like 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And so free little easy questions and then slide out.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
But I was asking them, I was like, who was that number 19 out there? Because I saw him on special teams, just knock your cats over. Like, he was on kickoff coverage. He knocked over a blocker, pointed at him, and shut running.
Yeah.
And that other play that, Young got a penalty. Matt Brown was mad because they didn't throw the flag or whatever. But I was looking at him, knock your head loose. And it was like, that was Troutman. I was like, what? Why is he going out on the field?
No, Troutman wants to hit people. Troutman wants to hit people, kids, though. Troutman wants to hit people, kids, though. Like he just appears to be undersized, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know their plan. I know what I've been told. I'm not gonna repeat what I've been told, but he just appears to be undersized. But he has the mentality that we're talking about. Like he's running around. Like, yeah, he wants to hurt things. He wants to break things. And it's like maybe he's not ready. Maybe they feel he's not ready yet to give a shot too. Maybe it's the understanding of the defense. Like I said, maybe they just feel he's not ready yet. But yeah, he's very super physical.
He is, man. But I understand that from like the linebacker position. You got to kind of know what you out there doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that excuse they be using, like they said last year with the receiver, this year they said it with Taylor. That's the stuff that I get pissed off at. You know what I'm saying? Because there's certain things, certain packages you can put a guy in if they do what you do best. Last year you could have had Keyshawn. When you come in, you run post and you run post corner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like already, you come in, I need you on these end, but don't jump off. And same thing to Manny Diaz. I'm gonna put you in on third down so you don't want to play football.
Right.
I need you to get to the quarterback.
Right. Yeah. Right. No, I get what you're saying. Like specialize, like specialize in certain things. Like you can do this. I know. Yeah.
Everybody do it with us.
You said everybody do it with us.
Everybody do it with us. Even with McLeod, I said, man, look, if they just put McLeod in on third down to rush from his linebacker spot, that's one thing that's what he do. He's not a slow linebacker. He get to the quarterback. And I'm not taking up the McLeod. He regrets. But you got to use him for what he's for. That boy in the straight line, he can get to the quarterback.
You think so? Explain to me. Explain what you mean by in a straight line he can get to the quarterback. Where you want to see him at?
I didn't mind him. Like, okay, so if he gets to 10, he's kind of. I'm gonna say he's just there. He's not messing up bad, but he's not doing anything, right?
Right.
So when he was a linebacker, when you saw his potential, it was because he was out there Marcel was going towards the quarterback. So I could have kept him there. He was the best back specialist. You come in on third down, then you package it, you find your spot, and you get to the quarterback. I don't need to hide that from the defense. I mean, from the offense, because the offense knows third down, they know I'm coming.
Right.
So I ain't gotta hide personnel. Yeah, he coming to get you.
I was gonna, go ahead.
I just said we just don't do stuff like that. We don't think ahead. I don't understand.
I was going to ask Manny about McLeod. I was going to ask him to explain McLeod to us. Like, explain McLeod to us, and he's been here a while. Sum up McLeod to us, and how do you see him, and how he's coming along at the new position. I just want to hear him verbally say, you get what I'm saying? I just want to hear him verbally describe the relation, not even a relationship. Like, how does he see McLeod? Like, how does he see McLeod? Or how do you see Steve? Steve, it seems as if they're rewarding him for being loyal.
Right.
Go ahead. You got something to say about that?
Yeah, I think Manny just have, I guess, security thinking. Like he don't like to be uncomfortable. So I'm gonna get these older guys that I know I've seen them do what I want them to do or whatever. So that would be McLeod, that would be Hall, that would be Carter. All three of these, none of these guys should be starting. Nothing against them, but none of them should be starting. So you got certain guys who just like to lean on, and I don't know why, because it's not like they're like old faithful. You know what I'm saying? They have to just like everybody else, not get the job done. So I think that's what it is with McLeod. How does McLeod move from one position to the next that fast and win a starting job? You move Carter from safety to striker, and you let him replace your best defender last year, and you should best graded out the defender last year. You see Urban Hall out here doing the same old stuff, but then you see James Williams, you can kick him. You will not take Hall off the field to the point where you got Hall covering slot receivers as opposed to, well, I'm gonna go with Clark, or I'm gonna go deeper into my bench. I'm gonna play 3 and 4 corner. No, we're just gonna stick Hall on the slot receiver. Like, what? How that make any sense?
Right. What'd you say, dog? How that make any sense?
It don't. Right. So I think he just got guys you like to lean on, and I think Ivy's coming to those guys. It's just guys, and I'm not bragging on them and just saying, hey, I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying some guys, and some guys need to be benched so they can perform. They get in their head that, all right, something gotta change, something gotta click. But if you keep on rolling them out there, they just keep playing the thing with it. They're like, damn.
You say who's one of these guys? Hey, listen, I'm finna put something on the screen. Y'all let me know in the comment section if y'all can hear it or not. Let me know if y'all can hear this. Yes or no? Can y'all hear that? Well, it's just a little delay. Can you hear that, Cal? You got to turn yours down, huh?
Yeah, I'll turn mine down.
Let me know in the comment section if y'all can hear that. This guy is hilarious, dog.
That's the dude you used the other week, didn't
Oh, he did Miami again, dog. He's hilarious. Y'all can't. They said they can't hear it. Okay, I can't hear it either. Let's see if we can fix this. Okay, give me a thumbs up when y'all can hear it.
Hey guys, we're heading into week 7, right? I'm not teaching you guys.
No, we don't do that again. Did y'all hear that?
All right, so ball snaps, right? We got 2 guys watching the running back go through the hole. Hey, but I'm scared to death, so I'm just gonna try to push my teammate like he's my big brother to go handle it for me. All right, big brother, pisses down his leg, dives down legs. All right, hey, now it's a foot race. Now obviously we're gonna lose that every time. All right, touchdown. All right, now it's the fourth quarter, right? 3rd and 8 in the red zone. Hey, all I gotta do is wrap up. Hey, the moment's too big, so I'm just gonna throw my weak shoulder that I spent no time lifting with in the offseason. Right, then we got Davis here. Right, I get no NIL money, so I just bet on the opposing team and help them score every week. All right. Hey guys, we're heading into week 7, right? I'm not teaching you guys how to tackle in week 7. It's a 1-2 thing. Right? So I'm just going to get on the air ad, and I'm going to find the guys and bring the guys in here who want to. Right? As far as Davis is concerned, hey, I'm done. I've had it. Right? You were my biggest waste of money. In my 45 years, you were my biggest waste of money, son. And that's saying something. Because I have a Tua Tagovailoa jersey. All right, so ball snaps. Right, we got two guys watching the running back go through the hole. Hey, but I'm scared to death, so I'm just gonna try to push my teammate like he's my big brother.
Listen, man, this man is hilarious, man. Super hilarious. Could you hear that, Kyle? Yeah, man, dog. I don't know, man. So, what do you think about Manny, man? What do you think about what Manny just said, man? Manny.
Manny he talked too much. He ain't saying nothing. He talk. And I said this before, man, I felt bad for Manny at one point in time. And at one point in time, it started 2 weeks ago. Because I felt like.
You felt bad for him?
I felt, the reason why, because I felt like he put in the effort. This man fired everybody. He used to fire about. He needed to fire. He worked hard in the offseason, man. He did it all. They gave people that bash him for doing when he first came in, doing the racks and ring thing, whatever. So the man is trying to motivate, he's trying to get kids. He's doing a lot of things. I felt like everything he did was like, oh, you're just not good at your job, but you're trying your best. I felt sorry for him that none of the stuff was working out.
Right.
The more I started to hear stuff, the more I think you stepping on your own feet. John likes to doing certain things with certain coaches, and I'm watching you do certain things with certain players. I don't feel bad for him. But at one point in time, I really did. At the end of the day, bro, you're just not good at your job. And it's really not that. I think that he just in his own way. His own ego, he won't think his way. First, you got to learn when to step back. You say, you know what, man, I got control of this thing. Let me try something different and let these guys do what they've been able to do before. Let me get a PC. Let me get an OC. Let them, do what they do. But instead, you want to do everything you want to do.
What was he trying to imply? What was he trying to imply when he basically said the defense been playing decent? Basically, the proof is in the pudding. What the problem is? What was he trying to imply? He said basically, he started rattling off these stats on how the defense, just the good stats, and how the defense is. Cause listen, the defense started this game. Okay, the defense started this game bad, but the offense was worse. It's always because the offense is worse. It kind of takes the heat off the defense. You know what I'm saying? But it's almost like he was trying to say the defense does its job. It's not like he was trying to put it on last year. Asked me like defense does its job. I mean, we need more production on the offense. That would have sounded like to me. You know what I'm saying? Like against Virginia, the defense kind of held its own, right, in the first quarter, second quarter. Against North Carolina, Harvey scores a touchdown, a defensive touchdown, which I think was our only touchdown in the first half, right?
Yeah.
Van Dyke, 2 interceptions, 59 yards at halftime, I think. I don't know. I haven't heard him. Does he even make comments about the offense? Because it would seem at this point, he would be in Lashley by now. You feel me?
Right. Yeah. Right.
But I just don't. I think it kind of takes because the offense has been so bad. I think it kind of takes the heat off us not tackling, and it kind of heat off him calling plays, firing Baker. I think it kind of takes the heat off him, man. Lashley and his offense, bro, has been a huge disappointment, dog. But the bigger picture is the fact that Miami has figured out a way. It almost starts to feel like sabotage or something, dog. Like the program, the system, like they have figured out a way to recruit at a high level, even produce NFL kids, and it's almost like they got a recipe to like we're gonna fuck it up right here with the staff. We're gonna give them like we're gonna give them. First off, we're gonna hire a guy who's never been a head coach, and then we're gonna give them a budget that fucking nobody could win with. It's almost starting to feel like sabotage, dog.
Yeah.
Because they keep getting it right. Like I was going back and forth with somebody on, and I was going to read y'all this. I was going back and forth with somebody on Facebook, which I don't do a lot. Very knowledgeable guy, man. Very knowledgeable guy. He was impressive, the shit he knew. I don't know. But yeah, Google next to him. I don't know what the hell was going on. But he was trying to say that it's the it's the kids. And this is what he said. I basically broke down the things that y'all been hearing me say before about the talent is coming in. The talent is coming in, and for 15 years, Miami won the Coastal twice, played for ACC's championship one time. And dog, he said, prior to Rick, I don't know why we couldn't win, but since Rick, we won the Coastal in 2017, and first again the Coastal in 2020. And we were first in the Coastal in 2020. But because of Notre Dame being the ACC for a year, we didn't play for the ACC championship. That being said, kids that come to Miami expect to play early and leave early. It seems to consistently happen. If they don't play early, they transfer. Right now, we can take the classes that could be playing now. 2016, 22nd. 19 signed. McLeod, the only kid here from 2016. 2017, we were 12th. 25 signed. 7 are here. One of the 7, Gainer, out on the injury. Donaldson, Harley are the only 2 blue chips. Basically, that's still here. 2018, 23 signed. 13 out the class are still here. Pope and Wiggins are 2 of those 13. But this was before he just announced Pope. Cam and Campbell are out for the year. So that leaves 8 of the 6 of those 8 are blue. He's trying to say blue chippers. Nesta is a starter. Scaife is a starter. Hall is a starter. Firestone, he's in the 2 deep. Mallory is a starter. Reed has to be a bust at this point. Ivy is a starter. The only one left is 3-star Miller, and he's in the 2 deep. 2019, 27. 18 signed. 12 are still here. 4 of the 12 are blue chip. Keontae Smith is a starter. Huff, I'm not sure why he has struggled. Harvey is in the 2 deep. Couch is a starter. After that, because he's in Harvey is a starter. Hodges is in the 2 deep. Brooks has been injured since 2019. Nelson is a starter. Clark is a starter. Motaka was a depth quarterback, blah, blah, blah. 2020 was 17. We were 17. Signed 21. All of those kids are here. Tay suspended for 6 games. Chanting. And he's just going down on all these things, right? Basically saying, I don't know. I don't know if he thinks that the problem that we have, other colleges don't have. Like, I think, to me, the stuff he's explaining is just attrition. It's just how things happen. Right. So that doesn't delete the fact that those players that came in and either transferred or got hurt were still better players than North Carolina got, or North Carolina being kind of close, or Virginia Tech. It doesn't delete that point. Like it doesn't delete that. You know what I'm saying? It's the fact that you can say, oh, the players aren't here or they are here. Yeah, I think that's every program. But the ones who are still here, because he kept saying that I've never seen a kid leave here and go somewhere else and ball. I haven't seen it basically since Gus Edwards. But recently, like, if the kids are what we thought they were when we recruited them, they would get in the transfer portal and go somewhere else and ball. What I was telling him was, why are you judging the ones that left?
Right.
How about the ones that's here?
The ones that's here, judge them.
Right. It's like you having 5 kids and 4 of your kids are in the house with you and they're losers. But the one that left failed, and you're saying you're just judging that one. Like you're saying, right. You left here, you didn't do any better. Yeah. Well, the ones that the ones that you're responsible for are right here, and they ain't doing shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's when people. That's why I get frustrated sometimes talking to like fans and stuff. So sometimes I just stop be comparing ourselves to Alabama and Ohio State and those guys. We're not doing that.
Right.
You are, what's your record is 2-3 because you can't beat the teams in goddamn Coastal. So leave the argument right there. So all this attrition that you talk about and all that you blah, 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 compare that to the schools that you lose it to.
Right.
And you don't have an argument anymore. It's just that simple. You just don't have an argument. You talk about, oh, you got 12 kids, 8 of them were blue chips, but we only got 4 of those blue chips that okay. This and that school that have a single blue chip. Appalachian State got all 2 or 3 stars. You almost lost to them.
Right.
So what you talking about? So I don't. That argument, it kind of argument has no merit, and you shut it down simply by saying compare it, use the talent and compare it to the team that you use. That's it.
Right. Right. Let me see a couple of these comments. If they put James Williams, Cager was a kid that transferred and did well.
Yeah, he went to Georgia. Yeah, somewhat. It depends on how far back are you going, because you look at Arthur Brown. You know what I mean? So.
Well, no, Arthur Brown, Gus. You're gonna keep going back. Then you got Gus. You got a couple of kids that left here and did better. But I don't think that's how you measure it. I think it's just like, well, like, what are you doing with the ones that stay? Like that, measure those. Like, dog, the bottom line is this. The bottom line is this. As a coach, I had a wise dude once tell me, former University of Miami player, as a coach, either whatever players are doing on the field, either I taught it, that's it. Either I taught it or I'm allowing it.
And that's the thing with many of them. I think they are allowing it. I don't know what you talk. I can't tell you what you talk, but I know
Right.
you're allowing it. Because when I see James Williams come in, he shows the tackling the same way everybody else shows the tackling. It's because you're allowing it from everybody else. Why? You ain't gonna do it.
Right. So either, yes, right. So either I taught it or I'm allowing it. Like it's and there's no wait, one second. There's no way around it. It's like either because the numbers say that we out recruiting everybody for the last 15 years in the Coastal. We are number 1. And we're not getting those players to win. So either you are very good at finding kids with high stars that don't like to take coaching. You're like you're good at that. Like either you're very good at doing that thing, finding kids that's supposed to be 4 and 5 stars, but they don't like to be coached and they don't want to listen. Or you just can't win with good kids. Either way, it falls on you. Either you're a bad evaluater, or you can't win with the best talent in your conference.
Right. But then and that's essentially what Bain said. Bain said when they did lose a game, the first thing the coaches said when they came off the sideline, Jimmy Johnson, the first thing they said, we got to figure out how we failed y'all. We'll beat you better.
Right.
That's exactly what Bain said. That's what Bain said on the show.
Right. It's not. If you were like Nick Saban, like why did y'all lose to Texas A&M? I'm sure he'll say it's him. But then the guy will say, yeah, he probably would say it's him, but it's really Bryce who throws a bad pass at the goal line, or it's really no. That's not how leadership works. It's like he's your freshman quarterback. Don't put him in a position to screw you. Either way, it falls on you. But then Demetrius Jackson is out here, former DN for Miami, and he's basically saying the players got to play for the coaches. Like basically, it don't always fall on the coaches, man. The players got to stand up and play for the coaches. Well, that is true in some instances, but for 15 years, you're number 1 in the Coastal, and you won it twice. You played for ACC championship once. How are you so good at finding players that appear to be good on paper, but don't want to play for the coaches? like how did you be so good at that? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Coaches' leadership sets the bar. And Manny was saying some of this stuff this morning. Like leadership says that he's saying it out his mouth.
But who is he talking about? Is he talking about himself, or is he talking about, is he trying to say, hey, he was on the team? Like, who is he talking about? The way he goes about doing things, it's rare that I hear accountability from him. Like, I really don't hear it. Like, I'm not gonna say I hit finger point, but I don't hear accountability. And at the end of the day, he always is talking about, and again, like it might be a recruit, but at the end of the day, he always talking about getting more kids, or saying it can be a part of the solution. But I want to hear you say, this is what we, teach and this and that, and it's not going right. So we're going to teach them something else. We're going to strategically do something different. You talked the other day, what was it that he said for UNC? There's going to be some changes or something like that he said about changes. All I saw was slightly different personnel. The schematics were the same. But the fact that you haven't gone to those schematics and tried to do something different, that we know that your accountability is still held on those players and not yourself.
Right.
That's my opinion. You think you're just going to change personnel, but you're not going to get out of that stupid ass 3-down line and, third down defense. But you know what I mean? Stop lining up Irvin Hall 15 yards off their best receiver and tell him to guard him on the third and short. You stop doing that.
Right. Right. No, I get it, man. Thanks for calling, big dog. Thanks for calling.
I appreciate it, man.
Yo. Nah, look, to me, it's obvious, man. I stopped blaming kids 5 years ago. I mean, that was my whole thing. I said I was gonna stop blaming kids 5 years ago, and that's what I went for. That's what I'm not going back on it. It's the leadership. It's the leadership. You set the bar. You do all these things. You know what I'm saying? It's the leadership. That's the only thing, man. Before I get out of here, man, I want to say, man, prayers up to Cam. I think he tore his ACL. So prayers up to him, man. It's really, really tough. Really, really tough situation for those kids that have their dream in front of them. And the only way to get there is to get hit, to get hit by grown men. 12 more games, 11 more games before you have a shot of fulfilling your dream, whether it's undrafted, 6th round, 7th round. Is it even 7 rounds? It doesn't matter. This is the part that people don't understand. They say, well, he's a 5th rounder. But it doesn't matter, bro. KJ Osborne, an opportunity to make a living for your family. And bigger, to live out your dream. Something that you work really, really hard at, and now you're there at the door to accomplish that. It doesn't matter, man. I know some people who got drafted, didn't make the team, and didn't even go through the rigmarole of, I'm gonna get an agent. I'm gonna try to go this team. I'm waiting for them to call me back. I'm finna go to fly to Philly and go free agent and work out for them. No, they felt like, man, I made it, dog. I made a team, though. I got drafted, or I made a team. I made it here. I proved something to myself, and they walk away from it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if a lot of y'all have ever went after something so hard that it was your life. Imagine doing it from since you were 8 years old. And you're going at it, and you're working hard, and you're working out, and you're being disciplined, and you almost get caught and get arrested. And you finally get there to the door, and agents probably telling you stuff like, hey, man, you're a 3rd rounder, bro. You're a 3rd rounder. I can get you a 3rd rounder. I can get you to be a 3rd rounder. You know what I'm saying? And now, no matter what the reality is, in your mind, you believe that, man, listen, man, I done heard it too many times. You start believing that, hey, man, you're a 3rd rounder, you're a 2nd rounder. But you got to make it through one more season. You got to get, you know what I'm saying? You got to make it through one more season. And your knee buckles, you cart it off the field, the cheering stops. All of that goes away, and it's you, your family at the hospital. Everything that you were banking on, everything that you were working hard with for the last 15 years is in limbo. It's in limbo because the way the system is set up, in order to have a shot at your goal or your dream, you got to go 3 years in this gladiator sport. And it's tough. I see why Bubba out there, like, you can't tell if he's playing hard or not, because it's tough. It's tough. Listen, man, on that note, if you want to get involved with the stock market, bro, it's pinned at the top, ILD Squad. I'm going to text it right here, man. I know it sounds like a broken record, but I'm going to keep sounding like a broken record. I'll keep sounding like a broken record until I can touch some people with this stuff, man. We make it easy. Like I said, we got some options that was up 300%. We have some options that was up 300% this morning. I'll throw them up there for you one more time if I can find them. Got a passion to help people, man, and that's my thing. And I just want to help. If people that's on the platform, y'all know it. Y'all see what time it is. 300% on these things. 300. Mara and PROG. Mara 100%, PROG up 300%. That's what we doing, man. So listen, man, I'm gonna get up out of here. 6 o'clock. Crib Talk drop 6 o'clock. Y'all see it, man. Y'all make sure y'all go like and share. I appreciate y'all. I'm D-Man. I'm out.